What if basketball, the iconic American sport, had never been invented? Which other sport would America obsess over? And how would the world have changed? Discover this unexpected historical turn. Every invention, no matter how small, can change the course of history in unexpected ways. For Americans, basketball is not just a sport, but an indispensable part of their cultural identity. In 1891, an educator created an indoor sport, less rough than football. On a cold winter day at the end of the 19th century, an educator sought indoor activities. He wanted to create a new sport that required skill rather than brute strength. With 2 peach baskets nailed to the railing and a soccer ball, the new sport was born. The rules were simple yet captivating, designed to minimize injuries in winter conditions. The sport quickly spread to schools and YMCA gyms across America. From there, basketball went global, creating a multi-billion-dollar sports empire. Basketball has produced countless legends, changing the face of world sports. This sport has become an integral part of physical education and entertainment. It also serves as a cultural bridge, connecting communities and inspiring millions. Basketball has shaped many social aspects, from fashion to music and cinema. But what if that moment of creation had never happened? If basketball had never been invented, where would the passion for sports have gone? Baseball and American football would solidify their dominant positions, attracting all attention. Or another indoor sport would emerge, but it would take much longer to develop. In a world without basketball, the American sports landscape would be completely different. Indoor gyms would be mainly used for gymnastics and wrestling, which are less popular. In urban neighborhoods, children and teenagers would focus on street baseball or other physical games, creating a unique culture for each neighborhood. Universities would pour more resources into their baseball and football programs. Professional baseball leagues would expand, with more teams and denser game schedules. Filling the summer months, becoming the top entertainment activity for Americans.
Yes.
The American Football League would grow rapidly, becoming a giant entertainment machine. Sunday games would become a true religious ritual for fans. Media would dedicate most of their airtime and front pages to these two sports.
As the economic downturn shows no signs of abating.
Star baseball and football athletes would be national heroes. With lucrative endorsement deals and deeper cultural influence than ever before. Footwear and sports apparel would focus mainly on the needs of these two sports. Less innovation in the field of versatile athletic shoes for indoor ball sports. Equipment manufacturers would not have a huge market for basketballs and hoops. Instead, they would focus on baseball bats, gloves, helmets, and shoulder pads. Without basketball, community gatherings would lack a significant highlight. School-level tournaments, from elementary to high school, would only feature baseball and football. This would reshape the joy, competition, and lessons learned through sports. Many inspiring sports stories would revolve around classic baseball and football games. The development of facilities would prioritize outdoor fields and turf. Major sports brands would only focus on apparel and equipment for these two sports. In the absence of basketball, young people might turn to other forms of entertainment like music or cinema. Or other international sports like soccer would have a greater chance to develop. Restaurants and bars would transform into hubs for watching baseball and football, changing how people socially interact and consume entertainment. After-school youth programs would emphasize strength training, developing other indoor entertainment forms to fill basketball's void. Toy manufacturers would produce more baseball, football player models, changing the dreams of many generations of American children regarding sports careers. Also affecting the development of social movements and civil rights. The long-term impact of basketball's absence would reshape American culture and economy. Major cities would not have the massive multi-purpose stadiums as we know them. Instead, there would be giant outdoor stadiums for baseball and football. Urban structures would change, with less space for public basketball courts. Parks and recreational areas would focus more on small baseball fields or football fields, creating a distinctly different urban landscape. Sports legends would belong to baseball or football, not the hardwood court. The ideal athlete archetype would be physical strength, speed, or ball handling skills. Economically, the sports industry would have a significantly different structure. Fewer jobs in basketball-related fields, but more in other sports. Sports-specific television channels would primarily broadcast baseball and football. On the international stage, America's cultural influence through sports would diminish. Basketball is one of the most loved and accessible sports globally. Without it, America's soft power would be less spread through sports. International tournaments, like the Olympics, might not feature basketball. Or it would be replaced by a similar, less popular sport, reducing its appeal. Foreign athletes coming to the U.S. would also focus on baseball or football.
We have been working for this for so long.
Not creating the generation of international basketball superstars we see today. American culture would be less diverse in terms of sports symbols, with only two main sports. The lack of basketball would reduce sports cultural exchange with African and Asian countries. Cultural and educational exchange programs through sports would be less diverse. The cable television industry would develop differently, focusing on specialized channels. Indigenous American cultures might see their folk sports flourish more. Without competition, baseball and football might become saturated sooner. Or conversely, their dominance would prolong and strengthen further. sports-related films and literature would focus entirely on baseball and football. Many potential athletes would never have their basketball talent discovered. In summary, the absence of basketball changes how Americans entertain themselves and build communities. So there, just one small invention not happening would overturn a vast cultural and economic landscape. A world without basketball is where other sports reign and passions are redefined. How fragile history is. Each small moment creates immense power.